Jerome Ezekiel Cousins was the quarterback in D.C. for 6 seasons, and even though they didn't re-sign him to a long-term extension, Kirk Cousins, frankly, has been the best quarterback in Washington's recent history, and for the Vikings, yeah, that too. And Kirk finally has a chance for revenge against his former team at his former stadium, ACL Arena, FedEx Field. Is it still FedEx Field? I don't know. They may have changed names. Anyway, the place with garbage turf. It's in the middle of nowhere, but that's whatever. This season, the Vikings will be playing at the Commies November 6th at noon. Get it on. Let's get it on. Now, Kirk Cousins has beat his former team before because they played in 2019, October. Remember, that was a Thursday night game. The Vikings prevailed 19-9. Case Keenum made his return to U.S. Bank Stadium. It did not go well for him because I think Trent Williams was out that game, and like basically their entire offensive line was banged up. So Danielle Hunter and the guys got after it. So Kirk Cousins already has a W against the former team, but this time it's in Landover, Maryland, baby. And Kirk had a weird career arc because Washington in 2012, they moved heaven and earth to move up to 2 to get RG3, but then with their second pick, right after taking RG3, they took Kirk Cousins, and that was a Kyle and Mike Shanahan thing. It's like, hey, we're going to have a backup plan, and Kirk Cousins eventually took over for RG3 because RG3 couldn't stay healthy and was pretty ineffective, and Kirk Cousins became the full-time starter for Washington. And Daniel Snyder, not afraid to throw money at things, especially at players. And Kirk Cousins is the only guy he's basically never given a 5-year extension to, which is kind of crazy. I mean, Adam Archuleta, that was a good one. Albert Hainsworth, of course, a legendary one. Bruce Smith, giving him a career achievement contract on his way out. It's whatever. They did franchise tag him twice before he was allowed to walk to Minnesota in 2018. On his second franchise tag, Kevin O'Connell was his offensive coordinator, so that's important to note. But overall, Kirk, he's always been about the Benjamins, baby. And Kirk, he made 46.64, I think that's what that says. I'm really good at reading small print in Washington. He's eclipsed that just by a little bit here with the Vikings. But like we said, Kirk, respect, has been the best quarterback in Washington's recent history, because if you go back to 2010, well, hell, go back further than that, and you have like Jason Campbell and Mark Brunell, and Brad Johnson was in there too. But 2010, so 98 Vikings, Brad Johnson was the original starter. Randall Cunningham was the backup. But Brad Johnson, I think he broke his ankle. He had an injury, and then Randall Cunningham. Yeah, Randall McDaniel was a great quarterback, too. Randall Cunningham took over and dominated. And then the Vikings in the offseason traded Brad Johnson to Washington for, I think it was the first, second, and third. And the head coach of Washington at the time was Norvell Turner. But Washington since 2010, their quarterbacks, Donovan McNabb, that was a fun season. Also, Washington gave McNabb like a stupid contract as well. Anyway, Rex Grossman is there as well. Super Bowl participant, sexy Rexy Grossman. Then you had John Beck, pride of BYU. And then 2012, RG3 and Kirk Cousins. Sure. And then eventually it gave way to Kirk Cousins becoming the full-time starter in 2015. He was their full-time quarterback for 3 seasons. And then after they jettisoned Kirk Cousins, they traded for Alex Smith. And unfortunately, Alex Smith had that horrific injury again on that horrible turf. And then they had Josh Johnson, who's played for every single NFL team, I'm pretty sure. Colt McCoy 2.0. They had Mark Sanchez starting the game. And then when that didn't work, they picked up Case Keenum, who had signed with Denver in 2018. That one didn't work out. But Keenum started. The late Dwayne Haskins was in the mix as well. Colt McCoy yet again. And then Smith, Haskins, Kyle Allen. Yeah, great. Awesome. And then last year, Taylor Heineke, baby, getting after, man. The pride of Old Dominion. I love and respect him, man. Ryan Fitztragic as well as Garrett Gilbert. And then they just traded for Carson Wentz. So, yeah, you could pretty easily say that Kirk Cousins was the best quarterback for Washington in the last, 15, 20 years, this century. Sure. And this is a cautionary tale of the grass is not always greener on the other side. How many Washington fans right now would take Kirk Cousins' contract at all? I think a lot of them. Because they also saw good Carson Wentz in 2017 before he tore his ACL, but they have seen bad Carson Wentz twice a year with the Eagles. So, Yeah, I think Washington fans, I mean, they're loyal. They're loyal, man, but they're shaking in their boots for what Carson Wentz is going to do to them. And they're pining for the days of Kirk Cousins from back in the day, just bringing on back. And that's the thing with the Vikings. I mean, you could have moved on from Kirk Cousins, but who are you getting? I mean, Kellen Mond probably ain't ready. And are you going to enter a cycle of quarterback purgatory again? Brooks Bollinger, Christian Ponder? Is that what you want to do? Nah, not really. But even though Kirk is going to say and do all the right things, he's super classy. He'll be above board, even though Washington has basically trashed him on his way up. But you know that Kirk is going to have a little stank. He's going to have a little extra something for this game. And I can't wait, man. Because I want to see Kirk Cousins go into Landover, Maryland, and put up, 400 yards, 5 tutties, all of it to Jefferson. And that's just Jefferson. And then he takes care of the rest of the guys. Sure. But anyways, your thoughts and our thoughts. Kirk Cousins' revenge game at Washington, at the Commies this year. It's going down. Let's know in the comments section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Don't support the work. Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.